Good morning and welcome to the calm of my office as we share together another weekly wow, our word of the week. Always a pleasure to have you with me. Love sharing this time together. Always happy to provide the written copy on my website, videos that are closed captioned on YouTube so that they can be viewed in various languages. At least they can be read in the closed captioning. Our word this week is the word unhesitatingly. That is also the title of the most recent book that Jan and I have co-authored. I did my research. That doesn't surprise those of you who know me. And at least at the time we made the choice, Unhesitatingly was the only book in the world with that particular title. I share a thought from the introduction to that book. Memories that are not written down are destined to be lost. And so our story reminds us of who we are, or at least of who we want to be. Special moments, seeking to walk through God's open door, celebrating His goodness and His guidance. The book begins in the introductory section with a brief story, which I will share in summary. It's pages 3 and 4. I have a word for you is the title of this story, this vignette. Unhesitatingly is not a common word. The dictionary gives synonyms, for example, immediately, willingly, confidently. In the university, I taught a class titled Introduction to Ministry. A part of getting to know the students and helping them to develop their self-awareness, I asked them to write spiritual autobiographies. To help them understand the assignment, I often shared bits and pieces of my own journey in ministry and mission work. It was the first week of the fall term. My introduction to ministry class met at 4 p.m. Jan had prepared a light snack, brought it to the classroom for the students. We like sharing our story as a couple. We have always done ministry and mission work together, a shared endeavor. So we shared our sample autobiography, and the class members enjoyed the snacks. And then, of course, Jan was around to help with the cleanup after the class was ended. And as we were talking and getting acquainted with the students, one student named Lois said to us, I have a word for you. I have a word that describes your life in ministry. He said, tell us. He wanted to know what was on her mind. Without hesitation, she answered unhesitatingly. You have lived your life in ministry unhesitatingly. You have gone, you have served where God called you without looking back. Indeed, perhaps another word is unwaveringly. When Lois shared her word with us 20 years ago, Jan and I already had a long history of shared ministry. I had been involved in ministry for 40 years, but we adopted Lois's word as our word. Unhesitatingly, we agree. That word describes how we have tried to serve in ministry and mission work. So that's the story of how unhesitatingly became our word and also our prayer. So to today's wow, thank you for putting up with another of my somewhat extended stories. What about us? What about our churches? What about our brothers and sisters in the Lord? What about our mission work? What about you in your own personal walk with the Lord? Do we walk confidently? When an opportunity comes, do we seize it? Or are our opportunities fleeting and gone before we know? The words go unspoken. Words of encouragement, affirmation, gratitude. The opportunities come and then they're gone. The question goes unanswered. An inquiring heart goes away to inquire elsewhere. A receptive, open heart goes unseen, or at least undeveloped, unanswered, and saddest of all, sometimes ignored. The unwords, that is UN hyphen, the unwords pile up easily for me right now. Un is too often an apt description of our Christian lives. Unmoved, unchanged, uncommitted, unconvinced, uninvolved. There are more of those words in your mind right now, are there not? A bit self-serving, admittedly, calling attention once again to our new book, but I encourage you, read it. But most of all, use God's call in your life to change your life, to increase your service, to avoid the uns of life. God is calling you to live your life unhesitatingly. May it be so. Remember that God loves you. I love you. That's the way it's going to be. Until next week, may we share together the life that God places before us with those around us, unhesitatingly fulfilling his will for us and his purpose in our lives. God bless.